Oh my God! Oh my God!
Can you play dead? Heads under the chair on the floor! Oh God! Stay in the line with me.
A gunman has opened fire in a lecture hall at Northern Illinois University just outside of Chicago.
What's the location of the emergency?
City Hook School. I think there's somebody who's shooting.
The short-term goal was to stand up the call center, the information center, to get immediate help back to local educators, local law enforcement, local mental health professionals. The long-term goal, though, is to really attack the underlying problem, and that is to educate students starting all the way down in the kindergarten level. At the younger levels, try to help students understand the difference between telling and tattling. At that intermediate level, we want to take a look at teaching students about internet safety and start to talk about suicide prevention. And then at the high school level, if you don't have a trusted adult, which is really critical and really important, we want you to be aware of the Safe2Help program in Illinois.
You always wonder if you're going to have, in our district of our size, are we going to have somebody utilize this? And within a week of launching, we had several tips. And so that was helpful, knowing that the program works and that students were actually using it. It was great to work with local law enforcement. Both tips came in well after school hours, as they tend to do. And so it was great to see that work. In every safety training, that's what they talk about, is that there were things that happened weeks, months in advance of self-harm or harming other individuals. So that idea of not knowing is what kind of keeps you up at night, and the idea that we did find out and were able to intervene and help a student or groups of students makes you sleep a little more soundly when you put your head on the pillow at the end of the day.
I was actually in the weight room after school with a group of students, and I got a text alert on my phone, and then it also comes through email. You can read exactly what the person who made the call says. They were very concerned about one of their friends and the potential of suicidal thoughts and ideations. So obviously that's a significant threat, and we began immediately. And by the time I had contacted our school resource officer, our police department already had been made aware of this. They had already made contact with the student and their family. So I think that's one of the benefits is, just the timing of it. If it is a serious threat, can be taken care of almost instantaneously.
In my discussions with our social workers and counselors, it's become apparent that there are a lot more social emotional issues than there were even 2 to 3 years ago. A lot of suicidal ideation, and it's I don't know if that's an indication of social media and never been able to get away from it as a teenager, and something I certainly didn't have to deal with growing up.
Typically, students would access a school social worker, they might access a coach, they might access a school psychologist. However, those individuals are typically only available to them during the school day. Unfortunately, many adolescents, many teens aren't going to their parents with concerns. Safe2Help Illinois has become that vehicle for students to quickly jump onto their phones or access the website and be able to reach out and say, hey, I need some extra help.
The reception was very positive for all students that I have worked with, in the classroom or, talking one-on-one. They enjoy having this resource. I know that they have used it to get on there to look up some information that, they want to know more things about. So it's all around it's been positive.
We're starting the ambassador part of it with our kids. We're selecting 5 kids, and then what they'll do is they'll go to our elementary schools and promote it there, and which I think is awesome, because we need to start with our younger kids, because now the older kids, they're in high school, they need it as well, but the barrier won't be there as much if we start at a younger age, and they'll realize this is what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to step up, advocate for yourself, advocate for your classmate.
I think any time you can provide something, free is a great thing, but I think anytime you can provide a system of structure and support and information for your students, for your staff, you have to consider it.
If this program, Safe2Help Illinois, can help one student, one family, one school from suffering a tragedy, and I know it sounds trite to say if only one, but it's true. If it saves one student, one school district, one family from the tragedy of a suicide or school violence, then all the effort is worth it, and to do nothing is not acceptable.